the big story I think this week, Nick, has been that there's just been amazing momentum in crypto. And I wonder if you could talk to us a little bit about what you're seeing in the market in general, because what's super interesting about crypto is that it took a lot of big body blows. Of course, we know that over the summer, the Chinese have essentially tried to put a full clamp down. They've shut down all of their miners. And Bitcoin had a big correction as a result of that, and yet it just bounces right back. It is literally the terminator of financial instruments. It comes back and back and back. So I wonder if you could give us a little bit of your perspective as to how you think the whole crypto market is shaping up and why, or perhaps if you think that we are having a sort of a renaissance rally here into the year end.
Yeah, I think, well, basically, there's a few things. A good friend of mine ran over the data, and I was pretty sure October was going to be great because looking at every year since Bitcoin's inception, the high set in the first few days of October hold for the rest of October. It's 50% of the time. But if you look at just when the market has been bullish that year, which this is one of those years, it's something like 80% of the time. So as we went into October, the first few days were bullish. I was pretty convinced that it was just going to continue to be bullish, and that the lows were not going to be tested for the rest of October. And so far, that's been the case. And we're decoupling from the stock market right now. Sorry, I'll let you talk on that.
No. I was going to say, you're known as a big support resistance guy. I'm wondering, looking at the longer term chart, looking at sort of like the daily chart, maybe even the weekly chart a bit. What do you see the key levels are, and what would, if those levels get taken out, what would be your thought process given, those conditions? Because I'd be curious to see, since you said there's a very high probability, 80% probability that once we start rallying in October, we continue that rally. Do you think we have a chance here to maybe make fresh all-time highs in Bitcoin into the year end, given the price structure of how the...
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm pretty, at this point, so I was looking at Bitcoin, a few weeks ago, and I was thinking maybe we're not going to go to all-time highs again this year. But I was really looking at levels like this one here. I'll move my line down to here, the 53K roughly, where it came up to a few weeks ago and then shot down from. Let me zoom in a bit. So here, where it came up to and shot down from, I was thinking if that one gets cleared and we get a nice close above there, then I'll get pretty bullish. And that's essentially what happened. We got a nice close above there 3 days ago, which was this candle here.
We're looking at daily chart, right? I just want to make sure this is daily chart. Okay.
Chart.
Right.
So the next real level that scares me is roughly it's the 60K psychological level, but it tends to back away once it gets to 59,500 because psychological levels, especially the strong ones, the closer you get, the more resistance there is. So the 60K psych level is where I really see the next major level for Bitcoin. And after that, it's just the 65K. It's just psychological levels really that are the biggest struggle for most cryptos. The big round numbers, so 60K, 65K, 70K.
Right.
So
we even have an example of that today. If anybody can zoom in on like a 1 minute chart in Bitcoin, Nick and I were talking about this just before the show. If you look at the 1 minute chart, you see Bitcoin hitting 5,600 literally maybe 20 minutes ago and just bouncing right off that level. And one of the things that is, I think, really interesting about this market is it's very young. It's really fresh. And a lot of the tricks that some of us old timers used to use in Forex, trading round numbers, fading round numbers, seeing how the price action moves through the round numbers, which no longer really work in Forex because so much of that market has been roboticized and has been automated, and the huge amount of trading in Forex now is essentially automated trading. In crypto, all the trading is essentially human trading in many ways, and that creates much cleaner, easier sentiment waves that you can take advantage of, right, Nick?
Yeah, exactly. That's the big thing with that I noticed with crypto. So I switched over. My camera looks frozen. Am I still here?
Yeah, we hear you talking, but we'll just keep on going.
Okay, cool. Right. So basically, everything that worked in forex 15 years ago
Right.
I'm not going to say it doesn't work anymore. It's just been getting
Right.
less and less and less effective because, like you were saying, bots are taking over. So round psychological numbers, I've just completely stopped using them.
Yeah.
uh you know aside from maybe like AUD USD, for example, something like that, let's say it gets to $1. That's a pretty big
Yeah.
number. That sometimes works. But,
Right.
a lot of the other ones, they just don't work anymore. But when you go over to crypto, it is just so easy to pick these. Like I was showing
Yeah.
with my chart, the 56K, if you shorted there,
Yeah.
it's just such an easy and simple short to take. That's a rounded number. Once it hits that new
Right.
number, especially when it's moving to new highs, it's going to back away before
Right.
continuing up.
And that's
Such
it's
an easy
pretty.
short.
It's almost like $1,000 correction off that move. I mean, that is not chump change. That's a nice move
Yeah.
and a nice small scalp during the day.